Hey, what's up everybody? So welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm pretty excited to share you guys the photo comparison from the iPhone 11 Pro Max and the Canon 60 Mark II. So Canon 60 Mark II has been with me for about 2 years, while the 11 Pro Max has been with me for about only 2 months. But you are going to be surprised by the result from these two gadgets. So I cannot wait to show you guys the result from these two gadgets right now. Okay guys, so this is the first photo and let's take a look at this. And do you recognize if the photo was taken using the 60 Mark II or the iPhone 11 Pro Max? This is another one. Yeah, so we kind of capture the same person within the same location. I just want you guys to compare. So now let's take a look at side by side. Can you guess which one was shot on the 60 Mark II and which one was shot on iPhone 11 Pro? Okay, so now let me tell you. So the first picture on the left was shot on the Canon 60 Mark II, while the second one on the right was shot on the iPhone 11 Pro Max. But if you look at the result, they both look very similar. There's only slightly different if you look closely to the two photos. If you look at the background, both background from the photos are blurred, so it's really hard to distinguish. But if you look closely, you can see somewhere here. Well, as you can see, the difference is the focus on the rock. Yes, and as you can see on the 60 Mark II, you can see somewhere here is blurred and the subject is well focused. While on the second photo, it seems like all over the area except the subject is blurred. So the focus is not really nice and clear as the first photo. However, it is acceptable, I think, on the iPhone 11 Pro Max, because what else you can ask for? The iPhone 11 Pro is equipped only with the 12 megapixels comparing to the 60 Mark II, but look at this result. It's phenomenal. Okay, so now let's take a look at the second comparison. This is the first photo. Can you guess? Is this photo shot on the 60 Mark II or the iPhone 11 Pro? It's really hard to guess, right? And how about this one? Is it on the 60 Mark II or iPhone 11 Pro? Can you distinguish? Now let's take a look at side-by-side comparison between the two photos. Okay, could you guess which one is from Canon and which one is from the iPhone 11 Pro? Well, the first photo, as you can see here, is actually from the iPhone 11 Pro Max, while the second one is from the 60 Mark II. If you look closely, as you can see from the skin tone, the iPhone 11 Pro Max seems to be a little bit darker, while the 60 Mark II seems to be a bit brighter. And if you notice the rooftop, you can see the light here. The light here seems to be brighter than the light here on the first photo. So for your information, both photos here were shot on the 1.4 aperture. So they are the same, but yeah, again, the brightness is different. But in this case, as you can see, the iPhone 11 Pro Max is not too bad. It is acceptable. Now let's take a look at another comparison. Okay, now let's take a look at this photo, the first one and the second one. And now let's take a look at the photos side by side. Okay, can you guess which one is from Canon and which one is from the iPhone? Well, for sure, this time you get the right answer. The reason for this is that the first photo, I am holding the iPhone 11 Pro Max, so there is no way that I can use the iPhone 11 Pro to take the photo, right? And the second photo, I'm not holding the iPhone 11 Pro, so for sure that second photo is shot on the iPhone 11 Pro Max. But if you look at the two photos here, can you see, is there any different? Well, the only slightly different is the brightness. As I mentioned from the previous photo as well, the DSLR, the Canon 60 seems to be a little bit brighter on the skin tone than the 11 Pro Max. If you look at somewhere here, you can see on the iPhone 11 Pro Max it seems to be a bit darker for this. Okay, so now let's move on to the next photo. Okay guys, so another comparison. Can you tell me which one is from the Canon 60 Mark II and which one is from the iPhone 11 Pro? Well, it's not hard to guess for this one, because as you can see on the second photo, the focus is everywhere, meaning that the background is not blurred, while the first photo, as you can see, the background is blurred. So the second photo, for sure, it is from the iPhone, because at that time I forgot to use the portrait mode to take this photo. But on the Canon 60 Mark II, because I'm using the 50mm lens with f1.4, it does a very good job in terms of bokeh effect. But if you look at the skin tone and the color of these photos, they both look very similar. Okay, so now let's move on to the next comparison. Okay, so now let's move on to another comparison. Can you tell me which one is from the iPhone 11 Pro Max and which one is from Canon? Well, it's a bit hard if you look at the color and the skin tone, but there's something that you can notice between these two photos. If you look at somewhere around here, you can see the blur background is not really well blurred. This one is from the iPhone 11 Pro Max. If you look at the second photo, you can see that the focus is well done. So it's for sure from the 6D Mark II. But if you look at the color and the result, both photos look fantastic. Well, another comparison. Well, it's really hard to distinguish between the two photos here because the focus is well done. As you can see, the first photo, the background and the foreground and the subject is well focused, as well as the second photo. So it's really hard to tell which one is which one. But again, if you look at the face, so the face on the first photo seems to be brighter, and the second one is not. It's a bit darker. Of course, I can adjust the face to be a bit brighter in post-production, but I just don't want to do that because I just want you to see this, and I just want you to know the quality from the 12 megapixels on the 11 Pro Max is phenomenal. Okay, so now let's move on to another comparison. Can you guess which one is from the iPhone 11 Pro and which one is from the Canon 60 Mark II? Yeah, again, it's really hard when it comes to the prediction between the two gadgets. And just for your information, the 60 Mark II consists of 26 megapixels and the iPhone 11 Pro Max is only 12 megapixels, but it's really hard to distinguish. But if you look at these two photos closely, again, the foreground and the background, the focus and the bokeh effect from the two photos, you can see clearly that the first photo does a very good job in terms of blur background and the focus on the subject. If I zoom in a little bit, you can see that the sharpness on the person is also well done. However, in general, if you look at this from a first glance, both of them are wonderful. But if you look at somewhere here, you can see the first photo has blur, a little bit half blur, and the second photo, I forgot to use portrait mode to take the photo. But generally, they both look great. Both of them are phenomenal. Okay guys, so this is going to be the last comparison of these two gadgets, but the last two photos here are not even similar. So why do I have to bring the two photos here for you guys to take a look at? Well, if you look at the first photo, yeah, for sure, this photo was shot on the 6D Mark II with the 50mm lens because it's close up, it's really close up. I already stepped, back for a few steps already, but I still have this kind of result. While the second photo, yeah, of course, I use my 11 Pro, the iPhone 11 Pro Max for sure. But what I was really amazed was the result from the iPhone 11 Pro Max. The second photo that I'm talking about. Can you see the light reflection here? Somewhere here? This is not in post-production that I made it. This is natural without adding any effect in order to get this kind of effect. So this is just a notice for you guys as well. If you have one like 11 Pro or 11, if you take any photo reflect toward the sun or face to the sun, there's a glass somewhere here which reflect to your camera and it create this kind of effect. So this is something that nobody has ever mentioned about. There is a reason why I bring up this so that you guys notice. So if you want to get this kind of result, again, look at the sun and then try to take a picture which reflect to the sun, and you will get this kind of phenomenon effect naturally produced on the iPhone 11 Pro. As you can see, this photo, it is me, and this effect, again, it was produced on the iPhone 11 Pro without using any add-on effect or any other application in order to add this. This is directly from the built-in app, the camera app that you have on your iPhone. This photo, as well as you can see this light reflection. Okay, so this is something that I'm quite sure that it is new to most of you, because some of you don't notice this. Even me, I don't notice this until I got one, so that I try a few more to see whether this really happens. Yes, it does. So I was really surprised to see this. That's amazing. Okay, so that's it guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe for more useful videos in the future. I hope to see you guys in the next videos.